Good morning, guys. This is James with Level 1 Motorsports, and welcome to our new show, Taking the Green Flag. It's a little bit of motivational Monday type stuff here. We call it Taking the Green Flag because it's been my experience with dealing with a lot of you guys and a lot of guys that want to get in professional motorsports for a living, that you're kind of riding around under caution. You know what I'm saying? You're not really taking the steps to start or further your career. You know, you want to talk about it and you want to think about it and tell people about it, but you're not really taking the steps to make it happen. And so this is a little bit of a deal. We're going to kind of help you get going on all that and actually start your career. So first, let's talk about something I see a lot with guys that come to us is, man, this is my dream. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. I'll do anything to make it happen. And, you know, what I found out is that that's actually not the case, typically. Actually, one very kind of upsetting thing that I found out is most people's dream is for sale. And what I mean by that is it's your dream and you'll do anything except for whatever. You know, whether it's spend a little bit of money to make it happen, whether it's invest some time doing some things you're not comfortable with to make it happen, whether it's, you know, your spouse doesn't agree with this, so you know, you're not willing to do what it takes to make it happen. Whatever it is, I've noticed this a lot, that, you know, a lot of people's dream is for sale. And that's a, that's a bad deal. And another thing that I see guys getting caught up in is, man, they want to have it exactly planned out. You know, they want to start at the bottom and go to the top in 6 months. Or whatever. And it's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. Let's be realistic here. Nothing worth having, chasing, doing is going to be easy. It's just not. It's just not. You've got to be extremely intense, extremely dedicated, extremely focused to be able to achieve these things. So you kind of have to ask yourself, hey man, am I going to be intense and focused and just extremely dedicated, or am I going to be average and normal? Because you can't be both. You can't be on both sides of that fence. You just can't do it. You know, I know some of you people are going, hey man, you know, what do you know? You know, you already have a business, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me kind of tell you a little bit of my backstory. You know, I went to work full time in racing. Well, actually, let's go back to the very beginning. I started racing in 1989. Saturday night stuff, like a lot of you guys. In the early 2000s, I switched over and started doing this for a living. Got a job with some teams and stuff like that. Kind of when the big, you know, on the tail end of the big boom, of the big money boom with NASCAR. But come around, you know, 2009-ish, I guess it was, you know, I was an unemployed crew chief, race mechanic, you know, whatever you want to call it. I had been a crew chief up at that point. I had done a lot of things: gear specialist, transmission specialist, worked in engine shops, crew chief, car chief, truck chief, whatever it is. I kind of done it all. But at that point, I mean, you know, for everybody that had a job in racing, there was somebody that didn't. So the unemployment rate in motorsports was about 50%. So that's kind of when I decided, hey man, look, if I'm going to be broke, I'm going to be broke doing my own deal. I'm going to be broke trying to make something happen. So when I started this thing, man, you know, I had a wife, 2 small kids, just like you guys had. You know, we were leasing at the time. I didn't have a mortgage at the time. Had a house payment, lease. car payment, the whole nine, and I think I may have had maybe $1,500 in the bank, maybe. And, and we kicked this deal off, and it wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. It was hard. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, is building this business up to where it's at now. But man, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. When you complain about, hey, I don't know every single step of the way, I kind of equate that to driving your car at night with your headlights. Your headlights can only see so far ahead. Let's call it 300 yards or whatever it is. Probably not even that far. But just because you can't see what's around the next corner, you're not going to stop right there and not go any further, are you? If you leave the mall at night, you can't see your house from the mall. You don't know where your house is. You don't know where. You can't see probably the next place you're going, but that doesn't mean you're going to sit there until you can see it. No, you're going to get in the car, you're going to turn your lights on, and you're going to go, and you're going to adapt and respond to whatever you see when you get to the other side of that corner or the other side of that hill. You can't, you'll never know. You'll never know what is on the other side of the hill or around the corner or around the bend. If you never go around there, you'll never know. It could be the greatest thing ever, but you'll never know if you're just sitting there and not taking action to move. It's crazy. And also too, on that same note, you'll never know who you could be, the person you could be, the life you could have, the job you could have, if you try to stay with who you are now. You can't stay in the safety comfort zone of who you are now and find out who you could be all at the same time. It doesn't work. It just does not work, guys. You got to let go of what's now to find out what could be. What kind of good things are waiting on me around that curve, over that hill. Man, you'll never know. You will just never know if you don't start the journey. Look, there's no growth without pain. That's a reality. There's no success without pain. That's a reality. There's no great. And listen to me, there's no great without pain. It's impossible. You cannot achieve your highest goals, whatever they are. We're talking racing today, but maybe you want to be, I don't know why you'd be listening to me now if you want to do something other than race, but maybe you want to be a photographer, or you want to own a landscaping business, but you're too scared to go buy a lawnmower. You see what I'm saying, guys? You got to take that chance. You have to. Gosh, it's been a struggle for us. It has. It's been a struggle for me. I don't have the same wife that I did when we started this, unfortunately. I don't have the same house that we did when I started this. Actually, you know what? The reality of it is I got a better house. And probably a better wife too, if you really want to know the truth about it. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I also hear, hey man, it's gonna take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Well, guess what, guys? The time's gonna pass either way. The time is gonna pass either way. So why not use that time to grow yourself, to grow your business. You are your own business, no matter what you decide to take on. If you want to be in the motorsports industry as a driver, you are going to be your own little business, no matter who you're driving for. So why not work on that? You owe it. Gosh, man, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family, to try to be the best version of you. And look, you know, we if that's your goal, we would love to help you. We really would. But at the end of the day, this isn't about trying to sell you something as much as it is just trying to help. This is just me coming from a place where I've been, where I see so many of you guys are at now. Me coming from there to where I'm at now, and how good it can be if this is the industry you want to be in. Like I said, you know, you can really apply this to anything, but today we're talking motorsports. Man, you know, it's just, I don't understand it sometimes, guys. I really don't. But, you know, we're going to leave it right here today. We're going to leave short and sweet, and every Monday we're going to try to put something out on, you know, the business side of it, how you can up your game on that part of it. Man, I got so many good ideas, so many things I want to talk about, but we only have so much time. So we're going to leave that here today. And hey, do something today, right now, that's going to help you begin that journey if that's where you're at. Don't wait. Do it today. Thanks again. This is James with Level 1 Motorsports, and you just took the green flag.